game-changing origin and business model explained. Lego is a standard fixture in the memories of millions of people around the world. Some have used its products as kids and others as adults. The company is the largest in terms of revenue among toy manufacturers. For the first time in 2015, Lego surpassed Mattel in sales to become the world's largest toy company by revenue. In the same year, it was announced as the world's most powerful brand. Lego is best known for interlocking plastic blocks, which is its primary product in the market for decades. The Lego interlocking plastic blocks can be assembled to construct different kinds of objects, vehicles, buildings, and even working robots. And you can take apart what you've already built and reuse the pieces to construct different structures of your imagination. But before we explore the origins and history of this brand, I have a request for you. Please subscribe to our channel. That'll give us a lot of motivation to keep doing what we're doing. Most importantly, it'll ensure that you don't miss any of our several exciting and engaging videos we publish every week. Now back to today's pick. In addition to looking at the origin and history of the Lego Group, the company behind the product by the same name, we're also going to look at the things it has done right to assure itself the success it has achieved. And we'll also look at some of the mistakes the company has made in its path to where it is today, and how it recovered from those mistakes. Let's start from the beginning. Lego began its life in 1916 when one Ole Kirk Christiansen opened a carpentry shop in the small Norwegian town of Billund. Ole Kirk Christiansen was well known among the local town people and was very successful in his small-scale business. In 1932, he started a side business interest of sculpting minute toys from wood. The wood is most likely what was left from his carpentry work. Initially, he did much of the toy sculpting during his free time, but slowly it took more and more of his time. At some point, he got into selling the wood toys door to door, and many people seemed to like them. As it's clear at this point that contrary to what you might have thought, the first Lego product was nothing near the interlocking blocks we've come to know the brand for. And the interlocking blocks did not come into centre stage for close to 3 decades after Ole Kirk Christiansen opened his shop. Ole Kirk chose the name Lego for his budding toy business. Legend has it that Ole Kirk Christiansen organised a competition with a bottle of wine as the prize for anyone who could come up with a great name for his business. At this point, he worked with his 4 sons in his business, and most likely they were the participants in the competition. He beat all of them and kept the prize. The word Lego means play well in Danish. Most likely a coincidence, the word Lego means I assemble in Latin. And this more accurately describes what customers of the brand do with the interlocking blocks. If Ole Kirk Christiansen wasn't aware of the Latin meaning, then accidentally it all played well into the identity of his business. But real success for Lego did not come until after the Second World War. In fact, the company struggled a lot before and during the war. It went through the Great Depression, it went through a bankruptcy, and fire gutting down Ole Kirk Christiansen's shop twice in 1924 and 1942. Not to mention the death of his wife in 1932. The Lego Group began manufacturing the interlocking toy bricks in 1949. The early version of the product was named Automatic Binding Bricks. The design was invented by the British company Kiddicraft, which apparently gave Lego an OK to use it. It is only in 1981 that Lego got to officially buy the rights of the designs from the descendants of the inventor. The Lego company didn't move into massive manufacturing and distribution of the product until the early 1960s. By then, the founder Ole Kirk Christiansen was dead, and his son Gottfred Christiansen was in charge of the company. Ole Kirk Christiansen died in 1958 from a heart attack at the age of 66. It's important to point out that the market did not immediately appreciate the uniqueness of the Lego building blocks. In the early days, the reception wasn't great. And there lies one of the most important lessons we can learn from the growth of Lego. Lego customers thought the wooden toys the company still produced were the superior and quality product. Indeed, for many years, interest in the building blocks was very low. But for some reason, the company did not drop it. Instead, it kept improving on it and looking for other angles through which to place it in the market. This says a lot about having confidence in your own product and understanding the potential it has given the alignment of specific factors. This is an example of the LEGO Group going against the adage that the customer is always right. Clearly, sometimes the customer is not right, and the company needs to keep finding ways to make a customer interested in a product. If LEGO had given up the first time they noticed hardly anyone was interested in their plastic interlocking blocks, we might never have seen this very much sold toy. Today, we could have been here telling a very different story. Within a decade of the LEGO getting traction with their interlocking blocks in Norway, they were an international brand. And the company manages to turn Billund from an obscure small town into a tourist destination. Many people visit the town annually to see the origins of this global brand that has touched the lives of millions. But what has made LEGO successful? Many people agree that one of the things that have made this brand very successful is an excellent product. Even though it might not have been the case in the early days, the building blocks the LEGO Group has put in the market are very well made and they meet a market need efficiently. They also come in multiple colours, which is huge for the customer base that's hugely driven by colour. Through the possible outcomes one can get with the building blocks, LEGO can inspire imagination and creativity at the level many toy companies can never reach. Most importantly, the product is simple. It seems that the company understood from the get-go that complexity often comes in the way of success in the marketplace. As we'll see in a moment, LEGO did veer off the simplicity road for a moment, and they paid a lot for that. Indeed, it almost killed the company and the brand. At the moment, the company is known for a single product. While maintaining simplicity, users of the LEGO interlocking blocks can create thousands of items from a single set. That is a huge achievement for this company. Because while they sell a single product, it seems like they're dealing in hundreds or even thousands of products. Another genius step in the design of the LEGO product is that their product is targeted at both kids and adults. That opens up a lot of potential market for them. In the 70s and 80s, LEGO experienced a lot of growth. In 1995, Gottfred Christensen died, leaving the company in the hands of his son, Kjeld Kirk Christensen. With the death of Gottfred, the golden era of LEGO seemed to have come to an end. Perhaps encouraged by the growth the company had experienced under the leadership of his father, Kjeld embarked on a scaling plan that involved adding more variety to the products the company sold. And that included building the Legoland theme park in several cities around the world. Up to this point, there was only one Legoland in the city of Billund, which the company had built in the early 60s. Between 1996 and 2000, the company built close to 5 amusement parks. These steps ended up making the company spend more than they were generating from the new product. The return on investment from the amusement parks was not sustainable even in the long term. The growth of LEGO began to stagnate, and by the early 2000s, the company revenues were in deep red. Indeed, the company was staring at bankruptcy. Something had to give if the company was going to survive. So how did it make a comeback? First, the company got a new chief executive officer who brought in a new way of doing things and recreated the company's growth strategy. Jørgen Vig Knudstrup joined LEGO in 2001. He had previously worked as a McKinsey & Company consultant and university researcher at Aarhus University. He became the first CEO of LEGO in its over 70 years of existence not to be a relative of the founder. His recovery plan worked, and under his tenure, LEGO entered a path of recovery. Within 15 years, it achieved the status of the largest toy company and one of the world's most powerful brands. In December 2016, Knudstrup stepped down as CEO and took up the position of chairman of the group. And there's a lesson to be learned there. Sometimes a company has to abandon tradition, especially in leadership, to realize its full potential. So what did Jørgen Vig Knudstrup do to turn around the company? He returned the company to the simplicity that had seen it become successful in the first place. LEGO dropped a lot of product varieties that had been added in the late 90s. he brought the focus back to the core product of the company. In addition, LEGO let go of the Legoland enterprise. In 2005, they sold 70% stake in all their theme parks, and out of it raised close to $500 million. This money went into settling debts, restructuring the company, and boosting the core operations. Strategic marketing has been another thing that LEGO has continued to do right. Besides the classic visibility through ad placement, LEGO has gone a step further and sought to plant itself in the popular culture. Several books have been written to help users, especially kids, learn how to build different things using LEGO pieces. We've also witnessed major mainstream animated movies with LEGO characters. The LEGO Movie is one of those. The 2014 computer animated comedy film was written and directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. The story is about a LEGO minifigure who helps to fight and stop a tyrannical businessman from taking over a LEGO world. In 2017, another LEGO-themed movie was released. The LEGO Batman movie has characters from popular stories such as Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, who in appearance seem like they're made from LEGO. What all this has done is to give LEGO the brand visibility that very few other brands have managed to achieve. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Also, feel free to comment below. Thanks.